Hello, hello, hello. Everything seems to be working. Hello, hello T. Welcome in. Yeah, I tried some stuff right now and I hope everything works again. I broke something and it seems to be working all right again. So yeah. How's everyone been? I I had a good start into the week. Was quite productive. And yeah, I hope everyone is doing well. I will play. I won't play VR today. I think for Monday to chill out a bit, ease into the week, basically. Um, I will select a more chill game to just chill out, let the Monday settle in, and let the week settle in. Um, but I haven't chosen the game yet because one, because of the technical issues, and two, because of a little more tight time frame today. I would say I'm doing okay today. Hey, it's okay is okay. You don't have to do great every day. It's fine if you're doing your best, and that means every day is your everyday best is different every time. So as long as you're trying to do your best, everything is fine. At least that's my philosophy. So yeah. Uh, I have quite a lot of games I could play today. If you have any suggestions, I'm glad to take them and see if I can provide them. I do have quite a big collection of games, so there might be, if you just toss some game in, I might be able to play it. Other than that, I hope whatever you enjoy playing. Okay, I'll see what I will select then. Because I do have quite a few cozy games. I'm going through my list right now and starting a collection. And once I'm done, I will select one. But yeah. So with the start of a week, I usually for time management purposes, I have my Monday as a 9-hour shift, basically where I work. I can decide my own time frame as long as it fits into the normal operation time frame of my company. So I can basically come in whenever, but it is basically a rule that if I need to come in after 9 a.m., I will have to announce that beforehand to my employer. But other than that, I'm pretty much free in choosing my own time when to work. So I usually just go on a Monday for a 9-hour shift, basically with break. So I come in at 9 and go out at 18:30, which would be 6 p.m. 6 6:30 p.m. 6:30 p.m. So yeah, I basically just logged off and prepared stuff for the stream. That's good, especially on Monday. Yeah, it gives me a little bit of a buffer. I definitely need a 30-minute buffer on Wednesday, so that I can go to my Japanese classes, and that half-hour buffer will take care of that, and the other half-hour buffer I usually take for the Friday, so I can get off work half an hour earlier, so that I can easily go shopping. And with my schedule that I worked out, it will basically be I get off of work at 5 p.m. I will go shopping, then it will be around 6 p.m. I can basically decide to I will put away the groceries, and yeah, depending on if it's a really hot day or not, I might take a shower as well, so that I don't have to sit in my own stink, basically. That's not my style, so to speak. So yeah, and then it will basically already be 6:30 again. So yeah, then I have about half an hour to prepare stream, and yeah, that's basically the operation time frame I work with. I still have to prepare some stuff for stream elements and commands and stuff. I did notice that I can actually use stream elements to make calls to what's it called, URLs for kind of a, developers call it a REST API, where I can basically make my own custom program commands, more or less. I still need to figure out if there is actually any way to identify a user over Streamlabs, Stream Elements. But that would make it possible that I can do custom stuff, like, for example, a text-based RPG or something for each individual user without tracking any personal data. So it would just be if you use a command, and if it's possible for me to take the username by just, I don't know, there are some arguments, so-called arguments, that I can use in Stream Elements, basically. And if one of them is a user, I can basically take the command, make a REST API where I can pass the user, and I can just take that username and basically track everything over the username that the user did. So that would also mean that if you want to keep your saves basically for that thing I have in mind, then you basically can change your username, but that's a niche problem that one can potentially prevent by, let's say, if you know that you're going to change your username, I could make it so that only the person that wants to change the username can change the username. So you would have to announce the username change before making the username change for that to work. Otherwise, it wouldn't be possible for obvious security reasons. But that would be a very, very interesting project I could take on. So that's what I have in mind for fun features for the stream, actually. Sounds interesting, yeah. I really hope it works the way I think it will work, because if it doesn't work that way, that would, on one hand, be kind of sad, because I really kind of want to do it. Maybe even make something like a development stream, where I just code away. Basically, I will use for private projects. I started to just use the GitHub Copilot, which basically I in my corporate environment I use Java, and for my private project, because it's really convenient, I just use Python. And the Copilot basically can explain and write anything in a super convenient way in Python. Like, for example, if I say I want a basic REST API, which basically means I want a URL like twitch.tv, and everything behind the slash. If you look right now at the top icon at Twitch, there will be twitch.tv/assembly, which basically means twitch.tv is the base URL and assembly is the channel name, and the REST API just knows that the first thing after the slash is a name, except if it's like something that Twitch reserved for themselves, like a U, for example. If you want to go to your dashboard, you put a U there and then your username. But basically everything else, everything that is not a reserved keyword, will automatically be a channel, and that's the kind of stuff a REST API will do. So that will basically be the way I go, or that is the way I go about most of my projects, because it's extremely convenient. It automatically segments your program into tinier regions, so to speak, tiny modules, basically. And you can't really build some so-called monolith if you do it in that way. So basically, it's an automatic anti-monolith measurement, because you basically cannot make a monolith with it. And it's also super convenient if you, for example, want a database, an explicit database somewhere. Like, you get a Raspberry Pi, you hook up a the storage space, hard drive, for example. Like, an external hard drive is usually used for something like that, but I think you can also get integrated hard drives, or a kind of integrated hard drives for a Raspberry. But that is, for example, a way to just have this Raspberry Pi somewhere in your basement, and add the storage device on it at your database of choice for whatever you want to do. Like, usually people will go for classic databases, will use Postgres or MySQL, or if they want something more, what was it called? The database they would use would be MongoDB for humongous data sets, which is in and of itself another very not niche, but it's a special case basically for a database. But usually you can just take that Raspberry Pi, put your database program on it, hook up the REST API in front of that, and you have a database that you can read and write on without any, or without minimizing any attack area, so to speak. Because basically you can hook up a firewall in front of that, and really there isn't a lot of things that can get into that then. Like you can't really do SQL injections on a REST API. You could probably get DDoS if you just put out your home address onto the internet to access that. So that's a problem that also needs taken care of. But other than that, it's pretty safe if you just hook up your Pi in your basement and do that like that. And yeah, I used to study computer science for 1 year. I don't remember much, but the dev stream would be cool to watch anyways, I think. Yeah, especially because if I can explain stuff, if I remember to explain stuff on the fly, basically, it could also be used as kind of a tutorial for like basic stuff if somebody wants to do it as well. Because most of the stuff I do, I think that the AI copilots are actually pretty strong with if you don't make too big of a project. Like if it's something really small, basically, then an AI copilot can absolutely write your whole project. It's not bad. Like I wouldn't use it for any big corporation stuff, because that would be you need to take into account more of the nuances and processes that go through corporate software. But for something like a private, like a user database, if you want to start a user database, you can easily put that on a Pi, get some validations in there, and maybe you should, obviously, for a user database, you should do some encryption stuff. But usually if you ask the copilot, it will automatically add something like that, or add a comment that there needs to be some encryption or something. So I do think that, at least for private projects, it's a really good way to also just get started with coding at all. At all. Like, if you just don't know how to start coding, I would recommend get yourself like Visual Studio Code, which is like, it feels like a text editor, but it's actually kind of a development IDE, integrated development environment, and just ask the GitHub Copilot. Well, you have to install the GitHub Copilot, actually, and need an account for, on GitHub. But basically just ask it how you can start a project, describe what you want, basically, and it will most likely put out a project that can just start. I plan to learn more about cybersecurity. I learned some basics in the army during my training. Yeah, cybersecurity is always a great thing to know, because it's really scary how many people run around without an anti-NFC case for their credit cards and stuff. Like, you can just put a device on someone's pockets where your wallet is. Like, you carry your wallet in your front pocket, and someone can just hold the device to your wallet and book some cash. Like, there's literally, it takes like 2 seconds or something, and they will have like they will usually go for a 25 or something like that, because that's what you usually can just book without any pin, and they will just go up to you with a device, put it on your leg, and book $25, like just like that, and people don't know about it. It's scary. But I think that's just basic human nature to not want to think about these things. Like, if you think about bad things happening constantly, it's not good for you. But cybersecurity is one of those things that you just need to be aware of, basically. It's not good to not be aware of it, because it's basically everywhere. I have a wallet that is supposed to be safe in cases like this, but I never try to see if it works. Yeah, you should check it out, but usually there is not really a reason for a company to advertise something that basically the technology to counter NFC technology is so simple that it's not really worth it faking the product. Like, it's literally just, you could use some meshed copper wire, put it over the card and call it a day. I actually have bought for the trip to RioCon. I have bought special anti-NFC cases or hulls for my debit card, and I still need a credit card. I have to make an appointment sometime where I try to talk to my bank about a credit card, because apparently I cannot pay with my debit card anywhere except in Germany for whatever reason. So yeah. Smart, gonna have to check it out too. Yeah. Right, but basically the hulls I got myself are tested by the TÜV. And TÜV is basically our, I don't know if it's anywhere else, but TÜV is basically a organization that makes sure that stuff is up to the standards, like DIN norm. And basically, if something has TÜV printed on it, it usually will do exactly what it advertises. So yeah, I got some TÜV-geprüfte Schutzhüllen. All right. I am not even halfway done with going through my games, actually. But I think I know what I want to play, because... Oh, I have to install it. But that is okay, because it isn't too big. And that's a cool thing. Don't know if we have something like that in Poland. Yeah, I think TÜV is also in Turkey, if I remember correctly. Because I have a friend that has family in Turkey. And he mentioned something about Turkey having TÜV, I think. But I don't think that it's anywhere else, actually. I think that's Germany and Turkey is, I think, the only countries that have TÜV. I could obviously look into the internet for something like that. Internationally active. But does it tell me where exactly international? Main members. Brazil. Apparently TÜV is also in Brazil. Right, it's called Technischer Überwachungsverein. That's what TÜV stands for. But it does not tell me in which countries. TÜV Nord, TÜV Nord. Okay, so apparently TÜV has some subgroups basically, and those subgroups are present in some countries, depending on which, but I can't really find anything on which countries exactly. So I guess it's just you can get TÜV certificates everywhere, I guess, but it will probably be on a case-to-case basis. But I guess from what I've read right now, you can basically ask TÜV to test something for you, and then they test it, no matter where you are. And only in Germany we have probably these kind of stuff like you have to get your car, for example, to TÜV every 2 years or 3 years if you buy a new car, a completely new car. So TÜV has to test all the stuff so that your car is not a danger to anyone on the road, and then you can get your TÜV certificate for your car and are allowed to drive it for another 2 years. But you have to basically get this test certificate. And there are more soft rulings, like you can the month the TÜV has its expiration date, you can still drive it if it's gone, basically, but only for a certain amount of time. I think that was 3 months. I am not 100% sure. And basically, if you always want to have TÜV on any machinery you see, because it basically means it is up to the standards that it needs to be to operate completely safe. So if a machine does not have TÜV, you basically can't be sure that it won't explode in your face. But not all machines need that, obviously, because if you buy a blender, you probably can get a TÜV certificate for a blender, but usually your blender will not blow up in your face. That's usually not a thing that happens. But you can 100% be sure it won't blow up in your face if you have the TÜV. All right. So the game I've chosen has been downloaded, and I will now swap to the game. And I can hear the sound, but I cannot see the game. And I can probably only hear this sound because I have messed up. Start as admin. I see the network audio. It seems to be correct. Alright. No. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. That absolutely 100% makes sense. Alright. It's working. I will be playing Forager. I think that was quite an easy game where there doesn't need to be a lot of action. It's, if I remember correctly, it's just building a base and kind of like a soft Factorio-like, something in that regard. Apparently I've already played this, but I will make a new character or level or what's it called, world. Because I don't know where I left off last time, and also if there are any tutorials I might need, they will be provided. But I guess we start off with just hacking away at those stones, and maybe the game will tell us what will happen next once we have removed all those stones. I do like the sound design, but the high-pitched hacking of the pickaxe is actually quite annoying. It reminds me of old Flash games I played when I was younger. Kind of. The pixel arts are kind of not really the old Flash game style. At least the games I played back then, because the way these Flash games used to work, Flash was basically more of an interactive animation engine, so to speak, where you would have your vector graphs, which were basically paintings, like images from math vectors that were displayed basically to a canvas. The technical, it's very technical. Basically, you describe a picture with math. That's how I made my PNG tuber. I basically, you basically can make lines, describe them mathematically, and will create something depending on what you want to make, like any character, any. I think I forgot something. But basically any image was like a math equation, and get a toolbar. Okay. Use it. Alright. Yeah, but everything is basically a math equation in those old Flash games, and you would be able to obviously define some inputs, but Flash, I think, was meant to be mostly for animations, so that you can define those animations. And if I'm being honest, games aren't a lot different to just any animation. It's just a dynamic animation at the end of the day. because I give my input and the animations happen and the information of the screen gets updated according to what I chose to do. And from a very technical standpoint, I just look at images and see numbers go up. That's the basics of any game. It's a little more I wouldn't say depressing to look at it like that, but at the end of the day, games are a lot of numbers that we can look at in a way that either makes us feel good, or in case of if you are playing, for example, Counter-Strike or something, and lose a match, then these numbers don't make us happy. They usually make us sad or angry. And yeah, that's basically how games work. Of course, if you get more into the details, it's there's a lot of stuff that's that is in games and game engines, obviously. Didn't know that. You know a lot about different things. That is absolutely true. I have a very approximate knowledge of many things. Oh, I don't. That's a quote from Adventure Time, but I don't know if it's actually a quote or if I added something there. But I do have a lot of interests, even in stuff that that isn't directly like everything that's in some way or form scientific. I really enjoy just doing some research on sometimes, and some of the facts just stay with me. Can we get here? Cotton spawns more often, allows you to find wheat, allows you to find beets. Industry, unlock steel, unlock glass, gain XP when building structures. That sounds good. Economy, instantly gain 40 coins. Forges create 4 extra coins every time. Okay, interesting. Gain 25. I will go with gain 25% more XP. The earlier those bonuses apply, the better. And I will obviously take it as early as possible. Unlocks cauldron. Unlocks sword, increases base damage. Alright, I think industry and magic is a good combination right now. The spawns probably too. I don't know what economy does. I haven't played as far as to know what coins do. So I will go with industry right now. Let's see what we will have next time. Unlocks carpentry and structures cost less. Unlocks leather and sewing stations work faster. Alright, those sound really good too. I will get them next, I think. Depending on how I will need to consider respawning resources. If they are spawning faster, then I can use them up. That would be great. But maybe I need to go for the resources next. Produces a fire strong enough to melt the finest materials. Sounds like something I need right now. Crafts powerful weapons, tools, and other trinkets. Let's go. Oh, I can't. I need stuff for that. Okay. Okay, I can't do most of that stuff. Okay. Fishing traps. Sounds important. Economies, I don't have anything. Alright. Let's see what we can do here. We need coal, I guess. Go for the maximum coal. And in the meantime, stuff respawns. Great. Alright. So yeah, I usually get interested in a lot of stuff and just do some research on it for fun. And some information just sticks around. Although for video games, I especially had an interest in making video games for the longest time. It's why I became a software developer in the end. But making video games to be in the video game industry, basically, you need a lot more resolve, let's say, to do the things, because you will get taken advantage of in the development game development industry. Like crunch and stuff like that is only it will happen often, and it will not be compensated in most cases. So you basically either really love the job. Payment is also, if you are a developer in the gaming industry, you will usually not get as much money as you would get if you went for just any old corporate business development. So that's obviously also a thing that you need to consider if you want to go into video game industry. But I did make a little like a little prototype of something you could call a game, which was basically just a platform with some toys on it and a Maxwell the cat that would activate if you went into its radius and jump on your head. That's what I always heard about game developers. I hope it gets better. I really hope it gets better. I basically, in our modern economy, if you are not a already somewhere established as some kind of manager or something, you will just get taken advantage of. Even I, with my salary, basically I do have a good salary. I can live a pretty good life, more or less. There are some things that I have to that I don't have, like I don't have a car, because I can basically afford to get to the supermarket that's a kilometer away. So I don't really need a car for anything. My rent is pretty low because I knew somebody who knew somebody. So I got a small 30 square meters apartment, one-room apartment, where I live basically the whole time, obviously. But if I didn't know the person that hooked me up with this comparatively cheap apartment, and if I needed like a car for work, because obviously as a developer I have the luxury of working from home 24/7, so I don't need a car for anything really. But yeah, if I didn't have those, I would probably be not saving, and that's a problem that is basically all over the world, because the workforce, obviously, it's a nice thing that women got the rights to work and stuff, but that also meant that the worker pool doubled in size immediately. So employers were able to basically say, okay, we have more workforce, so we don't need to pay you as much because we have more workforce. Which is a side effect obviously. And yeah. I never owned a car either. When I was living in a big city, I was pointless because of great public transportation. That's true. That if your city has great public transport, that's really, really nice. I do have public transport, but I hate public transport, to be honest. It's not because of other people or anything. It's just that the seats, for example, if you look too close, you will see, at least in my city, you will see that you are basically sitting in dirt. And if you stand, the whole railings and stuff are painted in such a way that they are not antibacterial. So if you have like a small child that is basically sneezing all over the place, you will definitely, if you try to stand and need to get a hold of something, because obviously if you just stand there, you will fall when the bus breaks. So you gotta grab onto something, and it will probably be full of goddamn bacteria and viruses. So not my favorite activity to ride a bus or a train usually. They could really invest into some more hygiene. But other than that, I love public transport. I think basically what Germany did with the Deutsche Bahn, that they made it private property, I think that was a big mistake, because public transport before that got funded by everyone, even those that didn't use it, which I think is a absolutely acceptable thing. Because public transport is a thing that everybody, even those who don't use it, profit off of, because it's obviously better for the environment. And if your car breaks down sometime, you don't necessarily need a replacement immediately. And if you don't know somebody, if you are, let's say you are a upper middle class family with 2 children, and you need, you have, as an upper middle class family, you will probably have like 2 cars, and one for mommy, one for daddy, or depending on your family constellation. But that would be the like average American family that I have in mind. With your 2 kids, and you need to get them to school in the morning, and then you need to get to work, obviously, and your car breaks down. So you both need a way to get to work, and yeah, it's obviously better if one of you can just get the kids to school and go to work afterwards, and the other one takes the bus until you have a replacement car, instead of needing to stress out that you need to also make the trip to your significant other's workplace. But yeah, what was I talking? Right. The average salary for most people is basically so low that even if I made thrice the amount of what I am making right now, it wouldn't be as much as any average worker like 30 years ago, 40 years ago. Like, if you are an employee, you basically get underpaid so badly that it is extremely... I can't... It's just completely not fair in any way. Basically, you can take looks at the at some graphs like productivity and stuff, and look at what the what it was for people in like 1980s and stuff, and just compare those numbers, like the what's it called? The earnings basically of companies compared to the salaries of people, of employees, and you just see that you'll just see that the numbers just are so extremely different and so bad for employees at the end of the day that, as I said, even if you got twice as much in salary, you would still be underpaid, basically. And that's a thing that, yeah, that of course employers will take advantage of. So the only thing that really that you can really do about it is basically one of the easier things to do is joining unions and making sure that those unions are working in your interest. But also you just every individual basically needs to be more egoistical when it comes to wanting stuff from their employer. Like it's the best way basically to fix it is to know what you need basically, and to make sure that you get what you need. So if you're, for example, the in America, the work ethic is to, if your one job doesn't pay enough, get a second job. And that already is a dangerous thing, because a job is meant to be like, you are just meant to have one job. That was always the case, even back then when you only had one person working, and like the old day where the dad works 12-hour shifts in the factory and comes back only on Sunday for church, and then Sunday is the day where dad is home, and otherwise the mom took care of the kids and stuff. Even that 12-hour workday, it was worth it. It was really worth it. You just you basically, yes, you had to work the whole day, but you got it compensated. And you had, depending on where you worked, you actually had quite the good benefits and stuff. And they basically, my mom is working 2 jobs, although it's not a popular thing in Poland. No, and it shouldn't be, because one job should pay enough. Because if your job doesn't pay enough, then why would I do your job? If I can't live off of it, why would I do your job? It's basically, yeah, I'm forced. Usually it's because you won't get any support from the government, obviously, if you don't work anything. But the second job is only 2 hours, so it's not bad. Yeah, but still, if it's not like an honorary activity, I know you can, for example, get compensation for working stuff like a soup kitchen, for example. I don't think soup kitchens in general are something that pays, basically. It's for example, my friend Frozen. He works in a what's it called in English? it's like a use. It's like a youth spot basically, where children and teenager go to after school because their parents, for example, their parents aren't home, and they need a safe place to stay, because again, the parents are working like 8 hours a day, and if you add more hours, that's not how this is supposed to work. You shouldn't need anybody else to take care of your children, really. I don't think that's healthy in any way. But yeah, for those unfortunate that need this extra help, he works there in this care, basically, in this daycare for teenagers, basically, and he gets I think it's what's called a honorar, and that's basically a state-funded extra work. She's an accountant, and she's an accountant in both jobs. Oh, okay. My grandma was taking care of me until I started school. Yes, and that's fine. Like, that's usually how how most families worked in early ages. That you had your grandparents mainly take care of the children over the day, and when evening came, the grandparents like did their thing, and the parents took over. That was also very common in earlier days. That's not really a problem. That's actually quite good, because it's also like a social thing. Like the elderly taking care of the children, and the children later taking care of the elderly. That's basically what what was it called? Retirement. If you get retirement pay, like in Germany, you can go public or private retirement care, basically, and or retirement pay. And that's basically the system, just less individual. You just get the money. If you need special care, you can get like special care treatment, where either if your children, if your adult children basically have the time, they can take care of you, and they get like a fixed amount of money for taking care of the grandparents. And other than that, you can get just a nurse, basically, that checks up on you every now and then. And that's basically the choice of how we take care of the elderly in this current system. It's not flawless, obviously, and you can, for example, usually get a way better deal if you go like invest into private elderly payment. But usually most of the people, when they get old into retirement age, will be taken care of. Like there are cases which are problematic, where these people just go poor, but it's not the overall average case. That's what my parents did with their siblings when my grandma couldn't walk anymore. Yeah, basically in like 40 years ago, and even before that, basically before these social systems started to take over, families just took care of themselves individually. That was one of the more prevalent reasons that people had so many children back then. Because one thing, child mortality, that's like more than 100 years ago. But when child mortality went down, there was still the incentive to have lots of children because they were an investment to when you were like retiring, when you couldn't take care of yourself anymore. Back then, you needed such a big family. It was basically a necessity to live a long life. If you didn't want to work till you die. But nowadays, obviously, that's not necessary anymore. People who it's not just not necessary anymore. It's just the norm. People don't really want to have children anymore because one of personal preferences, and two because the system is designed in such a way that you not only don't need any children, it is not really from the system standpoint. I would, as a moral standpoint, it's a neutral. You can do whatever you want. If you want children, go ahead. If you don't want children, that's fine too. But in the system standpoint, you don't want to have children because it's not profitable. It will, at the end of the day, have a negative impact on you if you have children, because obviously they cost a lot, and you can't. If you try to work with children, you will probably not be able to do your 40 hours a week. You will probably go for something like 30 or 20 if you can. And that will be obviously impacting your retirement. So it actually is not really a good idea to have children in this economy. Yeah, Poland has a low birth rate than Japan now, I think. Potentially, yes. Generally, in all the Western, more capitalistic growing countries, there are declining birth rates because obviously there are personal preferences, like obviously giving birth does hurt a lot, so some people want to avoid that. And also the more what's it called? There is obviously an incentive to don't have children, a systematic incentive, and yeah, it's actually quite good to get a better balance in the leverage that employees have on their employers, that employers have on their employees, because if there are obviously less people, then the employers can't employ as many people, so your individual worth as a worker goes up. So that's the reclining birth rates might be bad for society, but they are really good for you as an employee, because you are now more valuable because there isn't as much people that can replace you. So employers will need to look into alternatives where they can replace the workers that are going to retire. So for the individual person, of course, this will get more stressful. There will be more work per person. And if you don't, as an individual, if you don't take care of getting what you deserve for what you work, you will burn out, and you will basically, yeah, you will be exploited if you don't act against it. Like if you get like if you go, for example, for overtime, if your boss always comes around the corner and wants you to go overtime, you don't need to. You basically, if he fires you, that's usually a really bad thing for him. Like, yes, you you yourself, if you get fired, that's a bad thing too. But really, the less people are available in the workforce, the more an individual will be paid. That's a basic economy. I've been hanging around at the screen for a long time now. Inventory slots are always great, and XP from plants and crops, that's what I want. Farming. Windmills and sprinklers. Sounds great. What can we fish? Unlock fishing rod. Fishing traps to catch fast. Alright. I still don't know what this economy thing does. What does windmills do? It's not explained, I think. I will see what economy does. I hope it does something useful. Unlocks markets, okay. Unlocks vaults. Alright. So we got more inventory slots, that's great. Is there a category on Twitch that for that game? It shows just chatting. Oops! You are absolutely 100% right. I forgot to change the category. It's not wrong, because we were obviously more chatting right now. But I think Forager does have... Yes. Forager does have a category. Perfect. Thanks for reminding me. That's a good thing to do. To put the right category. But yeah, so basically, less people in the workforce is obviously better for the individual in the workforce, because you can absolutely go for better. I just bought land apparently, but you can go for better benefits and stuff. Like, your employers will usually not fire you for anything stupid, except if it's really bad. But usually firing an employee means you lose a really important part of your business, especially if the task you are doing needs a certain amount of learning. Like, for example, if you're a cashier, you usually have to learn the system, the cash out systems and stuff, and the numbers for certain items, and what to do basically when something doesn't work like you want to. But usually every cashier system usually works around the same way. So if you already worked with such a system once, you will usually be able to work everywhere that uses any kind of this cash system. And it's obviously not so complicated that most people can learn using these kind of systems. So yeah, you can if you want to, basically you can swap jobs as an employee until you find a job that really pays you what you're worth. But there's also not a lot of incentive to give a lot of money, because it's such a low entry. But if it's like a specialized thing, like if you work at a, well, basically bakery is again, it's not a good example, to be honest. But why can't I just let that go? But That also might just be my my view as German, because we have something called the Ausbildung. And Ausbildung basically means you do some formal training, and after 2 or 3 years you will be a professional at the job you choose your Ausbildung for. So that's basically a formulated training. But I think in other countries it's just like, okay, you want to be a baker, you start at a bakery, they will teach you the ropes, and after like 6 months or something, you basically know everything that you need to know to work there. But yeah, if you work that 6 months, you are basically fully trained, and it costed until you are fully trained. It costed the company money to train you, obviously. Welcome to what? Streamlabs timed out. Reasons. Message too long. What? Why would you do that, Streamlabs? Why would you do that? How do I revert that? Alright, we are doing some live learning right now, because I think... oops, no, that's the wrong keyboard. Okay, you're back, great. Yeah, I don't know why Stream Elements chose violence there. I thought I had something like that disabled. Like the filters aren't really strict, but I guess Stream Elements went back on that. Is it under settings? Moderation, let's see. Auto mod rule set, little moderation, phrases and terms. And, okay, chat options. Verifications, that's fine. Rules. Unban request. Follow moderator tools. Pin message. There's nothing... Doesn't say anything about any text messages and stuff. Guess I have to look into that after the stream. Because I can't really find... I can't really find anything where I could change it. Or is it in the stream element page itself? Probably in the stream element itself. Oh, that's the dashboard again. Okay, I guess... I guess I'll have to look into that a little bit later. It was timeout, yeah. I don't know why it chose to time you out though. I saw that it's because of the message length, but I thought I had something like that disabled. And I know that there are rules I can customize somewhere, but I can't remember where exactly. So yeah, just don't go just don't go over the limit. Not gonna lie, I got jump scared. Yeah. I still remember the time that Charmaine timed me out accidentally because Twitch Mobile wasn't really working in his favor. So yeah, I totally understand that that might have caused some sort of adrenaline spike. But I will see if I can disable that in the future, because I don't think that there's any real reason to not allow long messages. Because you were nice to him, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I don't know exactly what I said, but I said something like something in the vicinity of everything's cool, everything's fine, or something, or I don't exactly remember, but yeah, it was just like, here's a positive message. Oops, I've got time out. Better use in some new chatter. Yeah, I guess a new chatter would have not taken it as graciously as you. That is true. All right. Yeah, where was I? Right, we talked about the economics. Right. Yeah, so basically, right, child birth rates. That's what it was. Yeah, basically, less children, better for the environment and for employees. But if you have the personal wish of getting children, is also extremely hard to build a family now. So if you are a person that wants to have a family, you are basically screwed over by the system, because it's really hard to have children. Like in Germany, you at least get a little bit of money per month to feed your children, basically. But if your goal is to have like a family like in the old days, with 5 to 6 children, then that's really your whole family is gonna live poor, basically. You will not own a house, you will always have to work, you will not live well. If your children will literally be all you need in life, then you will live a good life. But other than that, if you just thought, hey, I want to have a child, but I also want to live a good life, then you have to make a choice. And that wasn't always like that. Like in the 80s and stuff, you could comfortably have a family of 4 people and also own a home and live a good life. And that has basically been taken away from people. So yeah, the only way really to sort that out is to what's it called in English? To not request. I gotta translate that really quick. To claim. Basically to claim what you earn. And usually people usually employers and a lot of people just parroting what their employers tell them will tell you that you are not worth claiming more than you already get. But that's actually just bullshit. It's a way to keep you small so that you think that you own is enough. All you get, that would be enough. But you definitely can and should have more. everyone can and should have more, because we could have it. And if you look at the old numbers and compare it to the new numbers, then it's definitely not fair in the way it is at the moment. And it needs to, it will probably change at some point eventually, because there's only so much you can expect people to deal with. And there will be the tipping point where people will just go and take what they need. And that point will be at some point. But it will also, if that tipping point is basically done by force, it will become ugly. And I would like that to not be the case, because I do like my peace, and there's no reason to let everything get to a point where we can't resolve things peacefully anymore. So I would like to just encourage everyone to claim what they deserve, and not ask nicely, or ask nicely first, but definitely claim what you deserve if asking nicely doesn't work out. Like with every, you don't need to be loyal to your company. A company will replace you as soon as they need you replaced. And you as an individual should not claim loyalty to a entity that has no feelings whatsoever. It's just an entity that doesn't you don't owe anything to, other than the things that are in your worker contract. You don't owe anyone anything, and you are the guy that puts the signature under that contract. So make the best out of it and know your worth. You will be treated as lesser than you are worth, and you have to claim what you are worth, because they won't give it to you for free. Yeah, it sucks that they discourage people talking about salaries with other employees too. Yeah, and that's the first step, basically, to make sure you will be treated correctly, because I don't know if it was that way before, but I and the other junior devs in my company, we sit together once a month, talk about how we want to, obviously first things first, we want to talk about how we can make the company better, but also we talk about our salaries and what we get. And from the first time I talked with everyone to the last time I talked with everyone, we now have about the same salaries and about the same vacation days. I actually, because I basically am there the longest, with the exception of one person, I got 2 more vacation days that I personally figured out with my boss, basically. So I have the same salary as the other people, and I have 2 more vacation days, basically. And I think, again, we all still in the overall economy are making way too little. But for what I do and the general economic situation that I am in, I have a decent salary and I have enough vacation days that I think that where I can say that it's what's it called, worth Well, I feel like I have been recognized as a human being, basically. So yeah, but that one of the problems that there are that I also see, people are obviously tend to be more social, and especially that not everyone likes to hear that, but I think or it is supported by studies, by some studies, that especially women tend to claim less what they deserve because they are intrinsically more social on average. Like, of course, every individual is different, but on average, women will claim less for social reasons, and they can be easier intimidated for, like, if they are going into a review interview or something, a salary talk, basically. Usually what employers will take advantage of is that they can more easily intimidate women and can pressure them more easily to take less of a salary, which the gender pay gap basically comes in. If the salaries are not in any form or way regulated. Where basically here in Germany it is illegal to pay someone less because of their gender. But to prove that is a different thing, because on an individual basis, women will probably, on average, women will get less of a salary if they have to figure that out with their boss for themselves, basically, because they are more socially, basically, because they want less confrontation on average, and will try to avoid confrontation on average. Like, again, every individual is different, and there are some career women, obviously, that will easily be a counter argument, but yeah, that is one of the things employers will take advantage of if they can. Alright, we got new skills. Pets. Spawn a friendly companion. I see. Masonry. Masonry tables. Razors. Structures cost less. That's nice. I do think so that the structure cost isn't too important right now. I think I need this carpentry station. I think that will unlock more stuff for us to do. Unlocks a hammer, unlocks royal steel, unlocks royal clothing. This is important. I do think we don't have enough minerals. Are all the skill points for now? Okay. But yeah, that is my point of view on the whole salary economic stuff, basically. Like, if you do some research into these things, you can actually get quite some good advice for your own way you deal with employers and stuff. So I highly recommend just looking up these basic things and historic stuff to it. Because knowing these things can also give you at least some kind of leverage for yourself. If you're, for example, still thinking like, oh, but it's I don't want to swap jobs, or I like this job and stuff. And again, individually, everyone will have their preferences for, especially for if you really like, if you're really on good terms with your boss and stuff, and if you know what your company basically makes every year and stuff like that, and if your benefits are great, then obviously don't change anything. If everything is working out great for you and you don't need anything more, then that's totally fine too. That there are people out there that will there are employers out there that will be basically good people that try to encourage you to just have a better life. But the status quo will be that your employer will try to exploit every little thing they can, especially if you're in a, or specifically because big companies will these companies become big mostly because they know how to get every little penny out of everything. So they will obviously be also doing that with you. But there are also medium and small companies that obviously don't necessarily have the same whatchamacallit, the same ethics, work ethics, and salary ethics and stuff. But on average, big companies usually have, or big companies make up a large portion of the work market, basically. And this will obviously also mean that the probability of working for such a big company is a lot higher. And every company that wants to become a big company obviously will adapt the methods of big companies, which are, again, always maximizing profits. And salaries for employees are not profit, as are benefits. Employee benefits are not a profit for the company. So yeah, just looking up some of these facts and just doing an hour or two of research into stuff like that usually gives you an advantage in everyday life. One of my other things I really like to read up on is like medicine, like just medical studies and stuff. It's for example, just knowing how your body deals with, for example, infections and stuff can massively help you get healthy faster and easier, and avoid getting sick in the first place. I'm not writing anything because I have nothing smart to add now. No problem. It's fine. Every lurk is appreciated, obviously. And if you don't want to say anything, that's fine too. Like, just chill out. You can. I do need to add something that that people can just put in every now and then. Like, I obviously before I get affiliate, was it, or partner? Which one was the first? I forgot. Obviously, before I get my first Twitch milestone, people can just put emotes in chat or something. I do think that stream elements automatically gives a lurk command, but I'm unsure if I did add that. And other than that, I know, for example, hydrate. Yes, for example, that I just used the exclamation to mark hydrate and stuff from stream element rather than the from the redeems, the stream redeems, so that people can just go like exclamation mark hydrate, and usually I think you can connect the stream elements to something like Tangier that will then play a sound or something. I have looked so at the surface level, I have looked into this stuff, but I did not set up everything because I wanted to start someday. So yeah, I just looked at my schedules and stuff, and wanted to pick a date where I can say, okay, because the Monday, Friday, Saturday schedule, I basically figured out one of the first things, because Wednesday is always blocked for my Japanese lessons. Friday is the day that works best for my buddy Frozen, because he will be at his second job, the children daycare, where he is for 4 hours and gets quite a decent salary for just playing with the children and teenagers, basically, without any bigger training. They the funny stuff is he does this for he's been doing that for quite some years now, and basically they meet up and play trading card games. Like, he makes sure that they can get the cards that they need, and he goes through the rules and the decks with them. And they've been doing Yu-Gi-Oh for quite some time now. And since Yu-Gi-Oh just dropped in quality, they started to play the One Piece card game. So he's basically sitting 4 hours on Friday afternoon with his children playing Yu-Gi-Oh or One Piece, and he gets paid for that. Because he's basically just, he is there to be basically a guardian to them for the time they are there. And the Yu-Gi-Oh is just bonus on top of that, basically. But yeah, obviously that's a great job that you can have next to a normal job. And his normal job at the moment is basically he goes to university and needs only to write his bachelor's for the he only needs to do the last assignment of the bachelor's, but the last 3 tries he tried to attempt, like not even he got to the attempt and failed it or something, but rather he had problems with his professor and stuff, that he couldn't even start trying because there were so many problems. And he's basically, since 2 years, he's been basically working this this little job, the 4-hour daycare job, and he is now, since about 1 year, he's now working as a school assistant that takes care of a special needs class. So he will be in school for the duration of the school, obviously. Then go home, write his write his what's it called, report, and then he is free for the day. So basically he has a 9 to he works 4 to 6 hours a day with the special needs class, which obviously is exhausting, but that adds up about a 30-hour work week. He then goes on Fridays to the daycare for another 4 hours, so it's a 34-hour work week, and it's a decent salary. It's not really something you can get rich with, but if you spend your expenses wisely, you can survive quite nicely off of it. Oh, the backpack will takes a little longer. Okay. That's cool, yeah. Right. We have a new level. We have a new skill that we can unlock. Geology. All rocks drop coal. That statement is too vague for me to understand what the benefits are. Allows you to eat minerals and gems. Unlock sword, increase weights damage by 1. I don't think I need that right now. I think we want something like that right now. Yeah, how did I get to that? I forgot. I remember something about medicine. Yeah, so basically, just knowing, just knowing a little bit sometimes will help in a lot of ways that you didn't expect that it would be useful. Like just knowing basic medicine stuff, like how cells work and how the immune system works, can be really helpful for just daily stuff, but also if you know how the messaging system of the body works, it can be basically applied to other fields where you didn't think that they would be applicable. For example, basic engineering, like the stuff that you can, like machines and stuff. If you know software engineering, and I guess that's why it's called software engineering, if you know how it works, how the engineering itself works, which is basically to know your parts and how they interact with each other, then to get into machine engineering is not really hard, because you will have your basic stuff like motors and rotors and conversion stuffs, and just knowing how to program a simple program can help you understand, okay, if I have this motor, I can use this part to connect that part, and then I can use a converter for the movement, and basically can build a machine from like 3 unique single parts that you can just join together and use in a big part, as a big part, and it's the same principle as software engineering, because in software engineering, you take you usually have your entry point, which would be the equivalent of your motor, and you can go ahead and add a little, for example, if you want to make a super simple additional calculator, then you basically take your input, then decide, depending that if you stay with just addition, you take your first input and your second input, and you combine them together with the addition operator, and your machine basically does that for you then. So it's basically the same as taking a motor, taking a gear, and adding a wheel on it. It's basically the same thing. Of course, that's really simplified, but for example, you can look up these basic mechanical parts that you can basically use everywhere. Oh, this is that you can basically use everywhere, that you can easily get, like gears and belts and stuff. And the only thing that's standing in your way to make something is what you can envision. And to start to understand what you can envision and how you can envision it will just need experience, and you get the experience by just trying stuff out. Like take the simplest thing you can think about and build it and see how you can build it. Like for example, again, if you just want to have a wheel with a motor, you can start with just taking the motor and adding the wheel onto it, and then you can start to try stuff out. Like, what if you want the wheel at a different place, but the motor can move? Then you will take a gear and put the wheel at a different place. So you've added a wheel to the concept, to the whole machine. And now you want the wheel to keep the same speed as before, because for example, you put the wheel at a place where you needed a big gear and a smaller gear on the wheel. So you you try to make the wheels the same size, the gears. Then you want to move the wheel to a different place, but don't want to use the gears anymore. So you take a belt and start using the belt to get the wheel going. But you also want the wheel to have different speeds. So you need to make a little gearbox basically that changes the ratio that the wheel will be spun at, and you can basically start with these kind of little contraptions and just become a full-on engineer at the end, just by trying stuff out. Or at least that's what I think you can do if you want, if you really want to try stuff out. Because at the end of the day, obviously, you need also the time to do all this stuff and gain all this experience, and most people don't have a lot of time in their day. Like, especially as to touch the conversation before, where you need 2 jobs to do your basic surviving. So obviously lots of people will not be able to invest time into trying things out at home with some stuff. But if you can, especially for coding, even with all this AI stuff getting better and better, if you don't know what you are doing in the engineering department, no amount of AI will ever help you make a good program. Like, you can get basic stuff done, and if you're lucky, you do it in a way that works out, but we, as humans, will always have the advantage of being able to actually envision what should be done, while the AI will always be just a tool that will that can only be as great as the guy using it. So if you tell any AI right now, produce the next Facebook for me, then that will obviously not work. You will need to know the small parts, you will need to know how the small parts interact with each other, and the engineering equivalent of asking an AI to make like a class or something is asking the AI to produce a gear with which will make the ratios of the wheel go a certain way. But obviously, putting the stuff together in the right way will always be the responsibility of the human. Even if AI gets to that level, it would still be just an advantage to know how these things work together. Because if there's a problem and the AI can't fix it, then you still can look into the mess that was produced and will be able to figure out if or what the problem is and what needs to be done, basically. So it is always a recommendation of mine to just get into coding, and even if you don't want to do it professionally, it can improve your everyday working with a computer massively. Because you will automatically, even if you just look up stuff like automation of anything really. Like if you want to start your computer, and most people know that most people don't know that you can put applications in your auto start folder and just start the application. Like any application, even if the application doesn't have the option to start with your system. Like many like Steam, for example, will ask you if you want to start Steam with Windows together. And you can basically do that with programs that don't have this option automatically. And these automation stuff will get you to think like, oh, sure, I can automate that. What else can I do? For example, I want to I have my own music playlist, like MP3. I have an MP3 archive from like 30 years ago, and I automatically want to start these MP3 archive. I automatically want to. I don't want to buy Spotify. I don't want to buy any music stuff. So I will take care with my own MP3 collection. And I want that to start when I start my PC. And that's like the first thing you can automate. It's almost programming. Or, well, to be fair, it falls under the category of configuration. Because Windows or also Linux will have programs that provide you for starting stuff on startup. So it is a configuration, but you can also just say, okay, I want to do that myself. I want to make a program that does that for me. And I don't think you should, because there is a solution, but you can do that. Yeah, it's basically the start of a journey where you just make your life a lot better because you can automate stuff. Like, there's also an unbelievably big number of corporate people that don't know that you can have like what's the templates in Microsoft Word and stuff. If they want, they will literally, they will write every report from scratch. Or some of them are smart enough to save a copy of a report base basically, and will use that. But you can actually just make Word a template for Word and just use the template. There's no need for saving stuff and things like that. Like, you can just use the report template for whatever you need. Like for example, if you what's it called? The invoices. If you have to write invoices all day long, you can just make an invoice template and just fill it with data from an Excel sheet and stuff. And it would take, it takes like a few, at max 5 minutes, I think, if everything is set up. And to set up everything, you obviously need to make the templates and prepare the data. But your average everyday corporate life, where you just have to fill in some numbers into some files, you can just go ahead and make the templates, and it will take 5 minutes at max to do these things, instead of needing to write a whole report every time from scratch. But yeah, that is up to the individual to if they want to learn this stuff or not. I mean, it could. I don't want to talk bad about doing stuff like that in that way, because if you really enjoy writing these reports from scratch, obviously do your thing, but it's not the most productive thing. And well, at the end of the day, you can, even if you don't like go to your employer and tell him like, hey, I have this way more efficient way to do stuff. Like, you don't necessarily need to do that. Like, it's not morally wrong, I would say, to just keep it a secret and work a little bit faster for yourself and enjoy the extra time you get from it. Like, if you don't get paid a good salary and you just need stuff done, and then you can just chill, that's absolutely fine, in my opinion. Where does all this fiber come from? Interesting. But yeah, you can, for yourself or for others, just getting a little bit into stuff to read about a little bit of stuff can greatly improve your life, even if you at first don't think it will. I should be able to buy some more land now. Okay, every plot does a little bit. Every plot has a little bit different price, apparently. I'll take that for now. It's a chest. Something happened. I don't know what. Oh, I see. I think my audio cue, because everything my basically my streaming setup, I have a Linux PC and a Windows PC, and the Windows PC does a lot of heavy lifting. It's basically the last complete upgrade for my PC, which includes I think I have the I think I have my PC stats below in the stream in the about page, and the Linux PC I use can easily handle streaming with no problem, but it would never be able to do gaming at all. Like, first of all, it's Linux, so gaming is still a little bit hard to do on Linux, and the gaming machine doesn't really need to basically if I stream with full HD 180p, the gaming machine would obviously need to use the GPU to render the stream and prepare everything and buffer everything and stuff. So it probably could handle that, but also it doesn't need to, because if I play, for example, Monster Hunter, playing Monster Hunter on full specs on Ultra will take complete use of my graphics card. So if I want to stream Monster Hunter eventually, I think I will stream it sometime. Especially if something like a completely new storyline or something comes out. But if I wanted to play that on Ultra, it would not be streamable on Ultra. With the graphics card I bought because I thought if the 50 series will come out in I think it came out already. And when I bought the graphics card, I thought, yeah, the 50 series is probably gonna make the market price completely drop. And since it did the opposite, I am stuck with my 4060, basically, where I was planning to buy the 4060 for my PC as a kind of a filler for the 3060 I had before that didn't really make it anymore for what I wanted to do, and also a friend of mine needed a new graphics card to play Final Fantasy, so I just gifted that 3060 for as a birthday present and took the 4060 because I thought, yeah, prices will drop. I can easily afford the 4090 once the 50 series releases, and then those stupid goddamn AI bros hijacked the goddamn 50 series. Like, of all the things I needed on a graphics card, AI image gen wasn't it. Really. I'm already really against using creative generative AI. It doesn't really, it's not really something we need. It's wasted development in my eyes, and it's also basically the reason why creative generative AI gets pushed so hard and why these AI bros are all about it is because the companies, the big companies like certain a certain animation giant obviously want to reduce the costs for their labor again. Where we are coming back to why you are getting paid less than you earn, than you actually should earn. Because, for example, the reason that 2D animations and 3D animations where for the longest time people said, yeah, 2D animation is a lot more expensive than 3D animation, so we do 3D animation instead. The reason 2D animation is so much more expensive than 3D animation was because 2D animation got unionized. They made unions in 2D animations. They got more salaries, better salaries, and that's the reason why it got more expensive. And that's the reason why 2D animation got dropped over the time, because it was obviously going to be more expensive over time, and animation studios didn't like that. Unfortunately, 3D animation did not unionize, so they obviously were easily exploitable, and so it was done. That's why 3D animation got favored as the cheaper option, and always has been marketed as cheaper. Not because it is actually any more pricey to produce or something, but because it's one was unionized and the other was not. So obviously, the next step is to reduce any salaries at all by using AI to generate your films and stuff and movies and stuff. And that's why all this technology is getting pushed so hard. Or at least that's my theory. I presented that as if it was a fact, but that's mainly just a theory. I do apologize. This might have been misleading as something that is factually supported, but yeah, I don't think there's any other reason why creative generative AI would be pushed otherwise, because it's completely useless. There is nothing to gain from being able to write a text prompt and get an image out of it. Like, no one really needs that. You can the end game will be anyways that all these stuff that now at the moment is free basically. It will get monetized someday, because what's important right now is that people get to use it and people normalize it, obviously, for the plan. But yeah, it will someday. The whole, because no, there is no thing like free lunch is a basic saying. I don't know where it was exactly, but there's a saying, there's no such thing as free lunch, and it basically means if something is free, quote unquote free, then you pay in a different way. That somebody where you think the thing might not be as profitable to you, for example your personal data, many people just sell their personal data. If you use a free website that comes with advertisements, or even if it doesn't come with advertisements, then usually people just click accept everything and they will sell their personal data. It's the analog I would give for people just clicking accept on this website is, imagine every night, because your body produces blood, obviously. If you lose blood, your body produces blood again. So imagine that every night somebody goes into your room and takes a little bit of your blood that you don't really notice, but that guy makes tons of money with your blood and you in the morning don't really feel anything different. And you will reproduce that blood again, no problem. But you could also have just gone to like the Red Cross, and depending on where you are in the world, because in America you can basically sell your blood to the Red Cross, and you could do that instead of just letting these people for you, just because you want to, I don't know, like read a news article really quick. Just because they quote unquote give it to you for free, doesn't mean that it should be okay that they make money with your data at the end. It's like, yeah, it's nice that you are offering this service for quote unquote free, and I just need to give you my personal data. But how about no? Because I would rather either I would rather not be informed, because most of the stuff that gets posted in online report stuff and such in general is really not that great. Like the work is sloppy, and the overall information is usually also just wrong. But yeah, you read a news article that has been put together in like 5 minutes or something, and from your personal data they make really good money, and the subscriptions to these services are usually not worth it. But I don't think it should be okay to just advertise something as free while you are paying with a good, so to speak. Like you get their service, but the service isn't free, but they can advertise it for free because the thing that they take is something so how do I say it? Something that most people just don't care, but is really valuable, and they just take it from you and tell you that their service is for free, while actually you are just giving them something that is really valuable. And most people just don't know that the thing they are giving away is so valuable. Alright. I kinda forgot how to progress in this game, so it might take a minute or two to look what we are going to do next. I know that we need to get money and buy land for some stuff. I still don't know how to get to this this thing over there. I could build bridges. That would be a good option, actually. I should try and build more bridges. Ouch. No! Get away from me! I am dying. I guess this is a part of the game where I start to need to invest in some defenses. I really want the market though. So I guess I will have to decide if I want the this doesn't look like VR, but that's fine with me. Yeah. First of all, welcome to the stream, Danelian. How's your day been? And this isn't VR because as I said, I don't want to just be the VR gamer, although I do want to play, have a more focus on VR. But I also, I need a key. But I also want to obviously have fun, and every stream day I have 3 stream days basically, because on the other days I'm doing other stuff like chores and stuff, and because obviously I live alone, if that wasn't apparent, as I live alone, I have to take care of myself, and groceries and laundry and stuff usually don't do themselves. Like, it would be super awesome if they did, but they don't. That was fine, just plain theory, but fine. Yeah, plain dry theory can be exhausting too. That is absolutely true. But usually I think just a theory day where you just can sit back and get that information, maybe write something down. I think those are the most chill days, usually. I think this is the key we need. But yeah, especially Mondays, I don't think I want to do too much, let's call it sports. VR is kind of a sport at some point. And I don't want to overexert myself at the start of the week. Especially because the walls in this multi-party home are pretty thin, so if I shower at like 11 p.m, the neighbors will inevitably hear me shower, and even if it's just for 10 minutes, it's quite loud, and I don't want to wake anyone up that needs to work at the next day. So I shower at shortly before stream. And that means I don't want to do any sports activity after that. Because why would I shower if I get sweaty afterwards? That's the opposite of a sensible thing to do. So yeah, Mondays definitely will not be VR streams. I might, because I ordered a Bluetooth dongle for my gaming PC, because that goddamn thing has Bluetooth integrated, but that is not a good Bluetooth. It just, I need a key. Oh right. Yeah, the Bluetooth dongle will improve the Bluetooth, because the Bluetooth of the machine itself, like the onboard Bluetooth, just it's basically it could have also just been shipped without Bluetooth at this point. Like it's I paid for a feature that doesn't work, basically. Of course, makes sense. I got like the equivalent of physical education first 2 hours of school and having a long day afterward, Monkenkopf. Yeah, that is, personally, I always showered after physical in school. Like, I hate being sweaty and in company of people. Like, I really just hate it. What the hell is that? I guess we need that. Yeah, but I also was the only one showering, so I really had like the first two periods of the day. If we had physical education, I would be the only one showering, so I would be the only one in that classroom of like 24 people to actually not smell like the last butt crack. Which didn't really do anything, but I always felt I always felt like if I don't shower, yes, it wouldn't be any different to the others. Like it wouldn't make the difference. But I just always felt a lot nicer. Like I did something that nobody else was doing, and it just felt somehow a lot nicer. And you just found out that goddamn Stream Elements for some reason has activated the if you type a too long message, it will time you out. For whatever reason, I couldn't find the where I can put the rules for it, so it doesn't do that anymore. Yes, again, it's the stream elements. I really have to look into that. Why there's a rule that that does that? Because I remember that I disabled it. That you could, yeah, double feels Batman, exactly. I don't know where the rules are. I'm pretty sure I took out the rule where too long messages would do anything, but apparently I didn't. So yeah, you just have to be careful for now that the message doesn't get too long, and I will look after stream. I will absolutely will take a note of that, that I will have it, at least for the next stream, disabled, because I don't think that long messages are in any way or form bad, like at all. Because even if a bot comes in and spams like a whole paragraph, I can still easily just ban the bot and the message will disappear. So I don't think... I don't know why it's such a common procedure, apparently, that it's an automatic thing to activate in Stream Elements. Still able to read the messages, otherwise I just break it down into messages. Yeah, the messages get deleted, so I didn't get to read it. It must be some default setting. Yeah, that's what I think. And again, I think I was pretty sure that I disabled anything where I was like, even if a bot does it, it's not really a problem. I can just ban the bot and the message is gone. But yeah, apparently it's so such a default thing that I even if I disabled it, didn't disable it. I have like 1 hour of some theory stuff in the morning, then I got the 3-hour back exercise seminar, and afterwards again theory stuff for 4 hours straight. Oh, so it was like physical education, then some sort of thingy-mabob, and then again 4 hours of theory. I see. Outplayed the Stream Elements Kagwe. Yep. Stream Elements might be smart, but you are smarter. But yeah, yeah, physical. I do think that physical education in school is important, but I do not understand at all why the hell they think it's a good idea to have, like, especially in IT, to have 24 young men that do not care about their hygiene. Well, again, individuals might differ, but in my case, 24 young men, of which only one is willing to shower after physical education, to be put the first thing in the morning, so that for 6 hours they will not be able to take a shower again, and even if they could, they wouldn't. And to have them all on the yeah, in one classroom for 6 hours, where they stink like hell. I don't know who thought that was a good idea, but apparently it's still a thing. But it's not from school, it's from company. I don't have PE in school, luckily. Oh, you lucky bastard. I had all 3 years of my goddamn Ausbildung that I had physical education in the first 2 hours of the day. It was really, you knew, I think some of us called it the stink day, whenever we had physical education in the first 2 hours, because it stinks, man. Like, the classroom stinks. Even if you open the windows, you sit in the wall of stink. The teachers didn't even complain, actually, because why try? There are 24 men that do not shower after physical education, even though everyone knew what's going to happen, so yeah. I don't know who thinks that's a great idea, but apparently there are still people sometimes that think that's a good idea. Yeah, Ausbildung apparently is something like professional training or apprenticeship. Yeah, I think they have something privatized in America that's called the trade school, like TRAIT. That is apparently similar to Ausbildung, but privatized. But I'm not sure. I don't know any American that can tell me if... or I probably know because of the fan Discord of Saura, where I hang out a lot. There are a lot of active Americans that I can probably ask about it, but I didn't think about it until now, really, to ask about it. But I think that's basically how they do it. They have this privatized trade school or something that is similar to the Ausbildung, and where they learn a trade, obviously, and that is basically the equivalent. Because I know that lots of people decide between studying and trade school. And I know that trade school does stuff like electricians work and stuff. So yeah, I think job training or vocation education are also terms for Ausbildung. I see. I think for me, at least, for my ears, job training sounds like just your average I go to work and train there kind of stuff. Like I go to a bakery, apply there for work, and they basically train. Moin Leute, moin Frozen. I will call you Frozen. Because I know who you are, obviously. But I think you can actually, if you want to, change your Twitch name somewhere in the Twitch settings. As long as the name isn't taken, I think you can actually get your usual username that you usually use. I'm not sure though. I haven't done that before, but I know that another VTuber that had a long name. Her name is Kirana, and she had a way longer name before, and she was just able to just get the name changed. So I think you can just change the name. Yeah, I think I changed mine once. Yeah, see, T can tell you how it works. T Kare knows his shit. Well, let's see. Right. I didn't build a market. But I also need combat right now because the enemies are getting more and more. So I will build. Also, where was the market? I didn't actually see any market, but I can build this. Economy market, let's go. I need bricks, wood, and leather. Oh boy. How the hell do I get leather? I think I saw a cow. Right. Cow gives leather. Perfect. And I have poop in my inventory that I don't really need. But yeah, how was the day, Frozen? How has the day been treating you? There are gems. Alright, I think I need to get rid of some stuff. I don't know what the gems are for at the moment. Can I use the gems in the masonry? I can make floors. I have a feeling that this masonry does not do anything for me, god damn it. I want to make a sword, which I probably need steel. Probably also need a factory, which means I need glass, which means I need bricks. God damn. I need a lot of things apparently that I don't have. But yeah, where was I? Right. The reason why I don't do VR on Mondays, we went over that. And specifically why I chose Forager today. Basically, I wanted to play a cozy game, so there's not a lot of other ways of sweating involved. Like I can just take a controller and sit back. And Forager is basically just a really cozy Factorio. Although this is less of a Factorio and more of a... I don't know actually. I don't know if you could say this is Factorio like. Great game for yapping, yes, absolutely. Like I did a lot of idling at the start, where I think it would have been useful if I didn't just sit around in a menu explaining how worker wages are basically theft of the workforce, from the workforce. We probably could be further in the game if I didn't just idle in some menus. But yeah, it's really chill. I can just run around, farm some stuff, which I need to do anyways, and just occasionally need to concentrate on doing some stuff in game. And the rest of the time it's just running around, picking up stuff, and maybe build a building or two, and I can just yep and talk to you. And if you don't have the time to chat, obviously lurking is always appreciated, and I can just talk, get some topic I want to talk about, like the economies and stuff. I can just yap on and tell you my views on things, and regardless of if you agree or not, you can listen, you can make counter arguments. I encourage, always encourage for serious stuff, like to get into a dialogue, because if you think something I say is wrong in any kind of way, then absolutely please tell me how I am wrong so I can be better. Because obviously I can make my statements and stuff. I can tell you I think this and this is wrong and this is right, and I will never get any feedback basically if I only talk to myself basically. But again, if you can't answer because you're like, I don't know, I usually if I watch a stream, I will say hello, and then usually the streams are at my work time, so I will put the stream in the background, so I have someone that basically talks at me, not to me, but at me basically, where I can agree or disagree with them, or just listen to their voice. Sometimes I will be so deep into my work that I don't even notice that that the stream is still going on, where I forget it. I already have suggestions for Halloween, but till then it's still some time to pass. Yeah, of course. I think I provided a panel down where you can send an email. I have an email address down there that would be assembly@proton.me, I think, where you can, if you want to help me out, put the subject as feedback or something, or I guess suggestions would be a good subject to put there. And you can send me that as an email, and if I'm not online at the moment. Or you can obviously just tell me in stream, and I will put it in my notebook and hope I don't forget to look it up occasionally. I just tell them in person. Yeah, obviously, as we both know each other, you can also just tell me in person. That's also true. Did I just get shot at by anything? Looked like I was shot at. But yeah, suggestions, feedback and stuff can be sent by email. And obviously if I'm yapping something and I talk about a serious topic or something and you are like, no, that's wrong, it's actually like this and this, I absolutely appreciate that, because I do like to do research, but sometimes research can be wrong. And sometimes stuff like obviously not everyone wants to do good for the world, so they will lie and do data and stuff. So obviously my suggestions is any Resident Evil part in VR. Oh goddamn, yeah, that's that would be scary. I will consider it, but I also have an idea. I will not reveal right now. Ooh, something happened. Oh, thank you, Yanka, for following. Thank you very much. Yanka, also someone I know in private. And I will not go into any explanations as to everyone basically. If I know them in private, they are my friends. So I will not go any deeper into that. But yeah, thank you for following. Hope you had a great day. Lurking is always appreciated, obviously. And if you wanna chat, we have a few people to chat to. I played the Resident Evil 7 demo in VR. It was scary. Yeah, I believe I will probably need diapers for playing any of these games in VR. Because I am not really a fan of horror, and yeah, VR is like double horror, lol. So I think that will be quite traumatic, actually. But yeah, I have an idea also, and I think I will make something like a poll on in October as to which game I think I accidentally killed a chicken. God damn it. Oh, they're killing chickens too. God damn it. I think I will do a poll, and then we'll see. Resident Evil 7 and Village already sometimes scared the shit out of me in just normal playing. Yeah, so VR will be one hell of a different way to experience those games. But yeah, I think I will, at that point in October, I should have there should be enough games in my list that I can basically just run a poll and let you decide which game we want to play. And the moment she chases you up the stairs, I shit my pants. Yeah, not only you won't be the only one shitting pants when that will happen. But yeah, I think I will get a list of games, and then I will run a poll. I won't run a live poll on stream, I think, because the people that will interact with the poll will probably not be on stream all the time. So I will refer you to my Twitter, actually, down in my about page. And if you don't like Twitter, I also have Blue Sky. I will definitely post the poll on both platforms. And I will count, basically, if you use both Blue Sky and Twitter, you get 2 votes. Because it will, I think votes are usually anonymous anyways, and it will be easier for me to just let you vote 2 times if you use both platforms. I think I just stayed in one room most of the time to not get scared. Yeah, that's also a strategy. To just sit in safe space and just don't interact with the game. Like a certain dinosaur would avoid the big bad guy of a certain Subnautica game playthrough, and just meet only one of the big bad guys and go the whole game without meeting the actual usual bad guy at all. Like I wonder if I can automatically use the shoutout. Is there... whoops. Ah, so again. Okay. I would need to link that myself because Stream Elements does not have the default shoutout. So yeah, this is a link to Saura. She played through the Subnautica, and she did got through the whole game, but it took a little bit longer. And I'm still impressed that she was able to just not meet the Reaper at all. I don't think that the Reaper had any screen time in her playthrough other than the scripted one, basically. I could play some Subnautica VR with my thalassophobia. That's probably very fun for some people, Kappa. Yeah. Also, Subnautica VR is not true VR, if I remember correctly. Because it's just the VR view, so basically you get the first person view and you can do the first person stuff in VR. However, you will need to use a default controller, or worst case scenario, use mouse and keyboard with your VR headset on. Because there's no real VR interaction, just the normal gameplay interaction. Yeah, and her not seeing the most popular Leviathan was crazy. It's a feat. Like I don't know how she did it. It's very impressive that there was literally no encounter. Especially because we were at the Aurora twice in the playthrough, and the Aurora has a Leviathan right outside the door, basically. The thing is patrolling the vicinity of the Aurora, and not meeting it was pure chance, I think. It's impressive. Really, really impressive. Unlocks banks. I don't know what I want to go for here. I still kind of don't know. Unlock flower press. All structures have chance to craft double items. I think I will go with this for now, because I really don't know. Oh no, I need the leather. I need the leather. I need that leather. That's important. I already can get leather, but apparently I can get other leather now. Can I basically duplicate the leather now? I think I can basically duplicate the leather. Oh no, wait, I got hide, I think. Could it be I got hide? It's hide, goddammit. Okay. So I need to get lucky with the spawns so that the cows basically get spawned. So I need to be lucky to get some cow spawns. Okay. Very important right now is to get coal. And I got... Is there anything? I don't need this egg. Get rid of that egg. But yeah. What was I talking about again? I forgot again. But yeah, it's I can recommend watching that playthrough. It has lots of funny moments. I'm watching the VOD while I work on less intensive coding stuff at work, and whenever something funny happens, I write down the times basically, and that's kind of like a project I do on the side. So I watched through the VOD and put down the funny stuff that happens, or the really story important stuff, and post them in the in Saura's Discord, so that we can have a funny compilation at the end. I'm doing a great job with that. Thank you. I do my best, although I am currently very what should I say, entangled in work. There's lots of very how can I say it, like mentally, I have to mentally invest a lot in stuff, because the stuff I'm doing at the moment is quite complicated and requires lots of input from lots of sides. So doing all of that while listening to a VOD is not that easy. So I usually just I will usually, when I work on that, I will just put on any live stream and just listen to that instead of actively listening to the VOD like I do usually then. And I just hope that the more thought-intensive stuff will reduce over time, so I can get back to that, because the playthrough is really funny at a lot of times, especially because Saura is very scared most of the time. It's extremely funny, and I can only recommend watching it, and obviously a compilation of all the funny stuff that happened, because there's lots of funny stuff that happens, would be an enrichment to everyone, in my opinion. So yeah, I'm trying to do that. Currently a little less than I would like to, but obviously normal work comes before doing any fun projects. Especially if I do the fun projects while I work. So yeah, but I try to get back to that as soon as I can. Ooh, I think what do we need? We still don't have a factory. But I wanted to do the market, if I remember correctly. We still don't have nearly enough stuff. The market needs a leather, okay. I still don't know where I can get farming stuff. Is the flower pot farming? It's pretty making road, dummy, display. I don't think these things do anything, really. I do get my resources back, okay. Ow. Right, I wanted to make a sword also. I still don't have a sword. Go away. We also don't have any money. Apparently I can make a shovel. And a slime sword. And a bottle. But I don't know. Can do more coal. And I can go for more bricks and gold. But do I need more bricks and gold? Like, what should be the next thing? I think the factory. That would be glass and royal steel. However, oops. I don't know how to make royal steel. And I have a forge. I have 3 furnaces. And the forge does not help. The forge does not help, so I guess I will have to keep producing coins at the moment. I have to keep producing coins and wait for house to spawn. Also that guy, I still don't know what's up with him. I guess I need that item that he's holding or something. And I guess a bottle does that. So yeah. But yeah, horror games in October. I will see if I can that I can get 1 horror game per slot basically. Because I want to do something in the what would you call it? My vision basically is I have one day, I have the Monday as kind of like any normal game for anything. Then the Friday for retro gaming, where I will put on a game from a gaming console. I will give you a little spoiler for the for my Friday stream, because the first thing I wanted to do since I was I don't remember actually how old I was, but when the wave of Let's Plays came to Germany, I wanted to make Let's Play YouTube videos, and I must have been like 13, 14 years old. And I tried, and I failed miserably at doing it. And since then, I always wanted to make a Ratchet & Clank Let's Play. So what we're gonna play on Friday is Ratchet & Clank on the original console. So that's a little spoiler for you all. That's gonna be the thing I will be doing on Friday. And I have, since I settled into my job and basically settled into my overall life, I have acquired not only a PlayStation 2 for myself, but also a PlayStation 3 and all the Ratchet & Clank games for the PlayStation 3. So we will go through the whole Ratchet & Clank series. Not the spin-offs, unfortunately, and not the PlayStation Portable versions, because PlayStation Portable still, even if you buy it used, costs like $600, and I will not pay that. I will not. So yeah, I also wouldn't know how to hook it up to the PC so I can stream it. That would also be additional hardware that I probably would need to acquire, which I don't know if even exists. And yeah, so no PlayStation Portable and not the spin-offs, because I did play the normal games. I played one Ratchet & Clank game on PS3, the one with the pirates. Yes, that would be Quest for Booty, I think. Except if it was the spin-off thing game that I would need to look up right now. It's either Quest for Modi or is it Crack in Time? No, Crack in Time is different. To the Nexus. I forgot. I know there are two pirate-based, basically, games. One of them is heavily going for the pirate thingy, where not even the normal gameplay of Ratchet & Clank that I'm used to, where you basically have your weapons. You can buy your weapons at level 1, and you level those weapons by using them. I remember playing it well. It was in English, and I didn't know English well back then, so I was stuck a lot. Yeah, the game usually does a fair job of telling you where to go, but if you don't understand the language and don't pay attention for just a tiny moment, it can happen that you just that you are just left with wondering where you need to go. That is absolutely true. Oh damn it, my inventory is full again. No! I discarded the wrong thing. I discarded a lot of steel. God damn it. Anyways. I was 12 back then, I think. That's a good age for Ratchet & Clank. I think most Ratchet & Clank titles are actually FSK 12, which is German Freiwillige Selbstkontrolle, and it's basically the age restriction. And I think all of the games are for 12-year-olds. So yeah, 12 is a good age for playing Ratchet & Clank. If it's the Ratchet & Clank I think it is, then it's probably the one where you start out with like a level 3 weapon and go through the levels. The levels are extremely streamlined. So you're basically just going from A to B, fighting stuff in the middle, and that's it. Basically, there's like usually in Ratchet & Clank you have a planet where you land, and then you have multiple paths that you can go through. Some of the paths you can't go through immediately, so you have to come back later. But the game I think you might have played is extremely streamlined, and you just play one planet, and then the story puts you in another planet, and you always have only one route that you can follow. And your weapons, basically you get the weapons wherever you need them in the story. So if you need, like, usually you get a grappling hook in any of the games. So you will just get the grappling hook and don't need to pay for it in any kind of way. And yeah, if it was that game, then basically that wasn't really Ratchet & Clank actually. That was a spin-off title where they explained backstory of the actual Ratchet & Clank title. I was stuck at the rhyme part when I had to mix strings. Yeah, I think that's the extremely story-driven thing. Because it's not a bad game. It's not a bad spin-off, in my opinion. But it wasn't the Ratchet & Clank experience. Because usually you have one planet with some routes, multiple routes usually, and you can explore the planet at your own pace, and just and just sometimes you get gate kicked because you don't have an item or something, but usually it's just like, hey, you are on a new planet, you get a new weapon, it's this rocket launcher, do you want this rocket launcher? Well, you better have 10,000 bolts, because if you don't have them, you don't get this rocket launcher. But you can also just get this fine machine gun that is not as great, but does a good job at like 5,000 instead of 10,000. And you can level it up, but yeah, it will never do as much damage as the rocket launcher, and it is also probably not as fun as the rocket launcher. But if you haven't spent your money wisely, then this is what you can get. And if you have been saving up, you can get the rocket launcher immediately and have lots of fun in this level with this rocket launcher. Especially the minigames. Usually every Ratchet & Clank has some kind of minigame. The first one has the hoverboards. The second one has the arenas and cars. And the third one... the third one had actual gaming console, like a additional game in the game, and also an arena. The arena, from the point where they introduced the arena, every game had an arena, because why not? And the arenas are fun. We got a new level up. That's awesome. But yeah, every game has an arena and usually has some kind of mini game. So that's on top of the normal game you get. So yeah, the spin-offs are usually very streamlined and focused. So I don't like them as much, but they are good. I don't think they are specifically bad. And when it comes to overall quality, I think my overall favorite Ratchet & Clank game, I might be biased because I was only playing the PlayStation 2 Ratchet & Clanks for a long time, but my overall favorite is probably Ratchet & Clank 2. Because Ratchet & Clank 2 had the first introduction of the sidewalking mechanics that were missing in the first, and it's really not good. If you play the absolute original first Ratchet & Clank, you will miss the sidewalking feature because it is so incredibly necessary for this game. The only thing you can do in the first game is you can side flip. So you can crouch down, and then you can say I want to put the stick to the left or the right, and then you press the jump button, and then you will make a side flip. But you cannot do anything while in that side flip. So good luck hitting any enemies, because your aim, you can shoot, but you will not aim at the enemies. So what you gotta do, instead of sidestepping and Ratchet just auto-aiming in the direction of the enemy, you will have to side flip, go into aiming mode, aim at the enemy with a control stick and a really slow aim, and then you have to shoot, and you will be happy with whatever amount of damage you did, because if you get hit yourself, you have overall only 4 hits for the normal for before upgrades, and you will have up to 8 hits after 2 upgrades, which are so incredibly expensive that it's basically you can quite comfortably buy the first health upgrade, which will give you 5 health points. Which, by the way, obviously when your health points get to 0, you die. So you can only be hit 3 times. That last health point basically doesn't mean anything. So yeah, you get 3 hits. You can survive 3 hits, and after that you... Oh no, what did I do? What did I do? No, I got a water bottle. I don't want a water bottle. God damn it. Oh, I need more glass. Anyways, yeah, so basically you get 3 hits. Anything that can hit you is 1 hit. And the things you should fear are everything that can be AoE. There isn't a lot of AoE. Usually they will just have some kind of machine gun fire or something. But occasionally there are enemies that have some kind of AoE. And yeah, basically you want to avoid getting hit at all, and enemies can be super fast, and you have this system where you basically try to avoid getting hit while trying to get in any amount of damage you can get in, and it's extremely frustrating in the later levels when there are flying enemies that will immediately shoot at you once you get out of cover, and it's just awful at the end of the game. I do love Ratchet and Clank 1, but gameplay is just awful. Like, I love the story. I love the story of every Ratchet and Clank, but it is not really a good game gameplay wise. It is still a lot of fun, but yeah, not the best. Definitely not the best. All right, I am looking at the time and I see that it is time for me to wrap this up. We can look a little bit at the extras, I think. Or okay, I only have 1 extra. There's still a roadmap. I think Forager has been in early access pretty long. Okay, but these updates are also very old. Okay. Yeah, I think that will be Forager for today. I will return to the just chatting. They did a remake, right? Yes, they did make a remake, and I think they actually fixed the sidestepping stuff in the remake. However, I also remember that they did some stuff that wasn't actually that great for the remake. I can't pinpoint what it was, but it also affected the gameplay again, which made one thing better and another thing worse. I think that was somehow the predicament they were in. But I do know, for example, that the remake version, I think, has a speedrun, or is used for speedruns for the game, because the loading times obviously are improved on the PlayStation 3. But other than that, I think, I guess if you have the remake, you should play the remake. But if you don't have the remake, you probably also can't get it anymore, because I think it was only digital. And I think you can't buy it anymore, or something like that. Yeah, so if you have the remake, that's great. If you don't, the original game has different points where it sucks. So overall, I definitely recommend if you want to replay Ratchet and Clank. Obviously, play everything of Ratchet and Clank. I can only recommend it. The humor is awesome. The story itself, it's not a bad story. It's like, yeah, you can pinpoint some stuff that isn't that great for the story. Like some character interactions aren't making too much sense in the way they were portrayed. But overall, great story, overarching over everything. Especially because there are so many interesting questions that get answered per installment. That I think even if you think, well, that's stupid, the story is stupid, it still kinda ties together the whole franchise, the whole stories. Even if sometimes, I mean, if you played any Ratchet and Clank, you know that Captain Quark is like the certified dumbass that still kind of gets the plot rolling. Like you call someone a tool, and Captain Quark is a device, a plot device. So yeah, it's basically just dumb fun, and I can only recommend playing the games. If you haven't played them, play them if you can, and if you have played them, absolutely play them again. They are still, after all these years, I would argue they are still from the gameplay quality and fun factor, they are still pretty solid overall. Like you can have fun with the new games. All of the new games can be fun, but to be honest, when it comes to a third person or first person shooter, I don't think anything really super great has been released in the last couple of years. Like obviously you have Call of Duty and Battlefield, which are the go-to shooters, obviously, but they aren't that great anymore. Like they have stagnated quite a bit, and yeah, if it's about fun, Ratchet and Clank still is extremely fun. So yeah, that will be the thing we will be doing on Friday. We will go more into Ratchet and Clank, hopefully, because I have, as I explained earlier before, I have this problem with the Bluetooth, and I really hope that the Bluetooth dongle that I received today will work, because Windows 11 apparently does not like the drivers that were installed on all the Bluetooth dongles I had before. So I really hope that Windows 11 will like this Bluetooth dongle. Otherwise, I am a little bit stuck with delayed sound, which is not that great if you are in active combat. Like, I've been playing Forager now with delayed audio. Like, I have 5 seconds delayed audio, which is irrelevant for Forager, but definitely not irrelevant for anything else. So, I really hope that this Bluetooth dongle will work, and then we will play Ratchet and Clank on Friday. So, I will now see if I can rate anyone. Let's see. Anything specifically you want to see? I have a little, I have some people. Like I want to rate people that are, or more like I don't want to rate people that are completely different thing from what I was doing. Actually, let me edit stream info to just chatting while I'm at it. Because first it's true, and second it will be hopefully prepared for the next time. I also need to remember to update the stream info. So yeah, I don't think I want to rate people that are playing something completely different, and I also don't want to necessarily rate people that have like more than 100 viewers, because not that I don't think I shouldn't, but if for some reason actually these 100 people decide to follow me and come in for the next stream, I will be overwhelmed. And I'd much rather have I also much rather want to support small communities, because I think they are much more personal. I do love just hanging out with people, chatting in their chat, and talking to them. So I'll give you some options. We can rate Small Chimpanzee, which is she's a monkey VTuber. We could rate Ugu Bear, which is also a bear. She's playing Overwatch 2. We could also rate Celeste, which I don't know that much actually, but she's playing Marvel Rivals. Or we could go to Codex Angel, which I also don't know too much, but she's playing Minecraft right now. Although I should look how long they've been streaming. Alright, okay, I don't think we will rate Codex, because she's been streaming for 6 hours already. Dealer's choice, you say, okay. Then let me quickly check the others for how long they've been streaming, and then I will decide. Alright, I think we will rate Celeste. Alright, so we do have a raid message. I did prepare that actually. So everyone who doesn't know how raids work, because I'm unsure if Frozen and Yanka know how the raid works, but basically you copy this message and I will initiate a raid for the person, for the other streamer, and usually you just copy and paste the message once her chat pops up for you. And yeah, so we go in there, we leave the message. You can, if you don't want to stick around, you can obviously just paste the message and leave. What I do is I usually click the follow button for them, and oh, I have a time limit, okay. I usually follow them and just lurk. Like I just leave the stream open to see what they are doing, and if I like them. And usually I leave a follow so I can get a better look at what they are doing, and decide if I want to be more active, or if it's just someone I like but I don't really have the time, because I have lots of people I like to watch, and not everyone obviously, even though they are probably really cool people, I can't handle all of them, at some point. I sometimes have 8 streams open and it's getting out of hand, so yeah. But yeah, if you would just copy and paste the message and then leave, that's fine. That's still something. It's still something. Okay, we will be gone in 5. So thanks for watching and see you all on Friday. Bye bye.